Boral here at Houston, Texas, Rachel. My goodness. McMullen, please introduce yourself to the world.
I'm Shelby McMullen, and I just got second place at the Houston Regionals.
Nice. With what deck, man?
Mannadium.
Mannadium?
Best deck.
Oh my.
Best deck.
What made you decide to play this deck for the event?
So I've been playing this deck ever since it came out in Cyberstorm Access. I played Dragon Link through events in the season. It just didn't feel as good. And with the cards in Age of Overlord, I just feel like a lot of the decks in the meta right now, they can't play through your board if you go uninterrupted. And a lot of the cards people think in the deck's turn, like Droll and Lockbird, etc. Mannadium has several ways to play through it, like and play around it if you've played the deck for a long time. And so I just have the confidence that if I win die rolls or even if I lose them, I have a pretty high win ratio because if I go unresolved, there's not really any decks that are going to break my board. And going second, this deck can actually play through a lot of boards, especially if your opponent doesn't know how to interact with certain cards in the deck.
Okay, before we see the second place goo, any shout outs?
A bunch of shouts. So first off, shout out to my boy Jamarcus right here. He got top 32, his first time topping. Shout out to Uncanny Comics and Games, the local I play at. Shout out to Samuel, the person that runs it there. Shout out to Jude Paris, who gives me lots of good advice, being a testing partner. Shout out to Dat, who gave me some testing with the Unchained matchup before I came here. Shout out to my girlfriend for letting me go out and play Yu-Gi-Oh all the time. Shout out to YouTube Wardle.
Yes, well, without further ado, please show us the second place goo.
Awesome. I'll start with traps. So I play 1 Mannadium Reframing and 3 Infinite Impermanents. Some people are playing a quick play called Realm Eulogy to make your deck a little better going second. It comes up, but going first, because we're not playing Appalachia anymore, which I'll get to later, you want to make going first as strong as possible. So yeah, you can brick on it, but you're also playing droplets, so you can send it as a droplets target so it's not that much of a hindrance. Imperm was insane all day. You don't play into talents with it. Hits the turbulence. Just a really good card all day. And then for the spell cards, I was playing 2 Scareclaw Arrival, 3 Forbidden Droplets, 2 Mannadium Obsession, 2 Primitive Plant Phobia, 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, 3 Calarium, and then the one I was just called by, Reinforcement of the Army, Terraforming, and Mannadium Imaginings. So this is one of the best extenders and combo enablers in the deck, but drawing too many of it just breaks you. At one point I tried playing one of this, and it just comes up in grind games so like way too often because you play 2 the Link 1 and 2 the Field Spell. So basically turn 1, it adds to your combo, and then on turn 2, by playing a second one, you can make another level 10 with Astroloud to typically OTK your opponent. This card was insane all day. A lot of people like to just summon any body thing swinging over Little Knight and go to battle phase. So I just let them go to damage step and I chain droplet. And then talents, because this deck can play through a lot of hand traps except Droll, and if they do Droll me, I just want to hard punish any hand trap that comes my way, and typically if they have another one, I'll rip it and then I can full combo or combo enough to where they can't play. 2 of the Field Spell, this is mandatory. You use it in your first combo, and even if you draw it, you can add the second one to have an insane grind game with both of them. 3 Calarium is mandatory. You have to play 3 of this in this deck. And then for the ones called by, it's for Droll, and also it's just good into Unchained, Tier, etc. Rhoda, Terraforming, and Imaginings. Imaginings really helps you dig into your non-engine or your engine in game 1 by drawing 2 and putting a card back. Also, a really important thing about playing droplets in this deck is there's an any synergy in the deck with the Field Spell and Reamheart, because for each tuner in the grave, Reamheart will gain attack. And in order to special summon the balls, you have to have a 15-21. So what I like to do is if I have droplet, I'll send this to the graveyard, so on my next turn, my Reamheart will be a 15-21 again, so I can use the orbs in my hand. So those are the spells. And then going on to the monsters, I played 1 Scareclaw Kashira. It's part of the Fenrir package. And aside from being a starter, because you can make the Scareclaw Link 1 with it, it also helps you break certain boards and play around things. For example, like Ex-Pearly Noir, Dragoon. It outs a lot of cards in that Makonko deck. It just helps you out their board. And then Fenrir is broken. I don't really need to go over that. 3 Ash. Hits a lot of decks. At one point I was testing Droll in the main and Ash on the side, but if you play against a branded deck and the brand fusion just starts just going unresolved, resolves over and over, you're just gonna lose. So I opted to put Droll on the side and this in the main, and this was fantastic all day. It covers a bunch of matchups. This paired with like an Imperm can just beat a lot of decks. And then I was playing 3 Reamheart. You have to play 3 Reamheart. Reamheart plus YESSSS Starfrost plus like Obsession is full combo, and also anytime you open this, you're gonna full combo even through Droll basically. And then I was playing 2 Scareclaw Rykart, 2 YESSSS Starfrost, 2 YESSSS Samsara, and 3 Meek. Torrid, the other orb, kind of comes up sometimes, and I've thought about running it in the past, but a lot of times this deck, I feel like more loses to itself than matchups. It doesn't really have a bad matchup, it just has really weird, awkward hands. And those awkward hands are when you draw multiples of these. So you want to keep it to a minimum, and also your counter trap can shuffle them back if you need to use them again. So you have a way to get them back anyways. This is a really good Star Extender. In local testing, it came up a lot. It actually didn't come up a lot today. YESSSS is just... This card's just insane. Like you can do so much with it in this deck. You almost want to summon an orb, you pop it, you go into the link one. You can like, there's just so much you can do with like these 2 cards alone. And that's my 41 main deck currently.
Okay, respect.
And 41 was just because I could have cut like the call by or something for 40, but if someone's main decking the Drolls or something, and also like I said, this is just getting into a lot of different things. 41 feels pretty consistent, especially with this. If you search in your comments, almost like you're playing a 39 card deck because it draws you 2 and puts 1 back. And that's it for the main deck. And then I'll go to the extra deck. I played 1 Typhon. I only made it once. It was decent when it came up, but honestly, I liked having it. There's nothing I really think I'd put in this slot. I never really made it, but it was still really good. And now, the most broken card in the entire extra deck, this card just does too much. Like literally, there were games today where I just pure engine, like no non-engine whatsoever. I would just play through like almost full combo tier boards, Unchained, etc. It's so easy to get to this card, and it's so easy to bait your opponent into letting you get into this card. This was the MVP of the day for sure. And then for the synchros, play YESSSS Armatara, Chaos Angel, Crimson Dragon, Excel Synchro Stars Dragon, Mannadium Triscuta, Chengying, Dissipator, and Baron. So earlier this week I was testing online a lot, and I tried playing 2 Barons because sometimes they came up. It sounds extreme, but there's situations where almost every time on turn 3 in this deck, you're always gonna be able to make another Synchro 10. And I was kind of convinced with myself, like, what's a better Synchro 10 than Baron? Yeah. But this is really good with SP Little Knight, because when you make it with Light and Dark, it can be destroyed by battle. So aside from drop it just takes away your opponent's availability to just swing over it to clear it, and also makes all your Synchro monsters unaffected by activated monster effects. So in the decks like Branded and certain other decks, if they don't have non-engine, they're not going to be able to clear your giant 3,000 bodies. So a lot of times today, I would OTK with Chaos Angel, Baron to floor, and like Cross Sheet. And so really happy I put this card back in. I think all these going forward, I think these are the correct ratios for the synchros you should play Mannadium. Every single one of these comes up. Every single one of these serves an important purpose as a starter, an extender, something that goes around banishing, or non-targeting, sorry. And then for the links, I played 2 Scareclaw Lightheart. Really funny thing that a lot of people don't know about this card is neither of its effects are once per turn. Yeah. And so you make it, they try to imperm it, you pop it with a YESSSS Starfrost, you summon it back from grave with its effect, and then you link it off to make another one, and then you just search the field spell anyways. And then Cross Sheep, other MVP of the day, it establishes the full combo. If you don't make it going first, going second is going to help you make like another level 10 synchro. And then SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight's incredible, but honestly, it didn't pull that much weight today. I feel it was more like Baron, Dissipator, and Chengying that really carried me today, and Astrolaud. But I mean, you have to play it. It's an insane card. So, any questions about the extra deck?
No, pretty much straightforward. Thanks for the explanation on this.
And then I will go to my side deck. So I sided Bisweller, 2 Nibiru's, 2 Drolls, 3 Crossouts, Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, Dimensional Barrier, 2 Thrusts, Herald of the Abyss, and evenly matched. This was in theory for Unchained and Tier Limit. I think I'm gonna take this out because while in theory it's good, my deck can play through those boards typically anyways, and going first, the inboard I make is probably better than making this anyways. Nib is just for, I was considering selling Bitch Shields, but I just wanted something that's kind of covers more basis because Bitch Shields are really good in Unchained and Tier, but this just covers a lot more matchups. This is for the mirror match, every other deck, and also as a target for this. I was really iffy on this card, but in the last round of the day in game 3, my opponent tried to Jolt me and I had it.
Oh, let's go.
So I only used it twice, once on Ash, once on Droll, but I'm really glad I had it now. Might change in the future, might experiment with it, but I was really happy with it. And then the rest of these are just thrust targets. I was playing 3 thrust for a while, but I wanted to make more space for stuff like the Nib, the Droll, and like have a more varied selection for thrust. And also when you play 3, you see it more often, but you also risk drawing more than one of it, which you don't want to do. This is for Tier and any branded deck going first. I never got to it. This is in theory for Labyrinth, Rescue Ace, etc. And this is for Pearly. Honestly, none of this came up today.
Okay.
Actually, most of today, my main deck, my engine itself did most of the work. The only cards in my side deck that really helped were Crossout and Joel. Okay. I didn't activate this. I actually don't think I activated any of these today. Yeah, I didn't activate a single one of these today. So a lot of my my deck's weight today was just like the main deck, and a lot of people think Mannadium is kind of bad at going second. I really advise people to reevaluate that because in the hands of an experienced player, it can play through a lot with just engine. I've almost broken an entire full tier board with no engine, and the only reason they stopped me was because on my turn they milled another shuffler for VSS Starfrost. So like when you know what you're doing with this deck, you can play through an insane amount of decks with just your engine.
Okay. Well, hey man, you have the results to back it up. So, and
yes, sir.
Viewers, if you disagree, please comment down below. Otherwise, just smash that like button. Well, hey man, congrats again on getting second place.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Until next time, everyone. Bortle out.